Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive. If you're listening right now, you know you're probably someone who loves connecting the dots.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you want to gain knowledge quickly, but you absolutely despise information overload.
Right. Nobody has time for that.
Exactly. And that is what we are here to solve today. We are focusing on your dinner plate, specifically a trend that is, it's moving from viral videos straight to your neighborhood.
Straight to the mainstream.
Yeah. We're exploring this incredible article by Jerome. You might know him online as @Jerome_official. And the piece is titled, Haitian Food is the 2026 Trend Nobody Saw Coming. Here's why it matters.
And our mission today is really to unpack not just the what, but the why. Like, why is Haitian cuisine suddenly dominating social media timelines and, heavy-hitting institutional forecasts?
That's wild.
It is. We're going to look at the mechanics of the food itself, the actual science of its flavor profiles, and, well, the deeper cultural shift that this whole trend represents.
Because the momentum we are tracking right now is massive.
Yeah.
I mean, National Geographic just named Haitian cuisine one of the top food trends of 2026.
That's huge.
Right. And at the exact same time, Data Essential, which is this massive analytics firm that tracks exactly what flavors are moving through the global restaurant industry, they flagged a very specific Haitian condiment called Pikliz.
Yes.
They called it a breakout flavor of the year. So, okay, let's unpack this. We have legacy media and hard data both pointing in the exact same direction.
What's fascinating here is that Jerome points out in his article that for the Haitian American community, this isn't some sudden discovery.
Right, like they've known about it.
Exactly. It is a long overdue recognition of a culinary tradition that has been quietly simmering in the background of American foodways for decades.
For a very long time. And to
Yeah.
really understand how this happened, we kind of have to look at the modern catalyst, right? The vehicle driving this current explosion is this crazy intersection of high-speed social media algorithms and deep, authentic family tradition.
Yeah, the TikTok effect.
Literally.
Yeah.
If you've been anywhere near a screen lately, you've seen the videos. It's, creators trying Haitian takeout, taking that first bite, and just absolutely losing their minds.
Yeah.
Millions of views.
Thousands of comments.
Exactly.
And from an algorithmic standpoint, those videos perform incredibly well because the food inherently possesses the specific sensory triggers that platforms prioritize.
Like what?
Well, you have intense visual contrast, which we will get into later, and you have highly textured audio.
Oh, like the crunch.
The literal crunch of the food right on the microphone. It's basically built for engagement.
I see the engagement for sure, but I have a bit of pushback on the framing of this whole phenomenon.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, when I watch these viral videos, I keep thinking about like an indie band.
An indie band.
Yeah. A band that has been playing these packed, sweaty local venues for 20 years. They have a fiercely devoted following. And then suddenly, a short clip of them goes viral. They win a Grammy, and mainstream media slaps the label overnight success on them.
Ah, I see where you're going.
Right. Like, by calling this a 2026 TikTok trend, do we risk doing a disservice to the culture? Like treating a centuries-old cuisine like a fleeting internet novelty?
That is a really valid concern. And Jerome actually tackles that exact tension in his piece.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he notes that while the internet is treating this like a brand new discovery, Haitian Americans have been eating this way at family gatherings since forever.
Right.
But he argues that the virality isn't necessarily a negative as long as we separate the vehicle from the destination.
Okay, meaning what?
Meaning the viral video is just the vehicle. The destination is cultural validation. It's about a culture finally securing the mainstream real estate and the respect it has always deserved, just using the tools of the modern era to bypass traditional gatekeepers.
Oh, wow. So the algorithm is just kicking the door open.
Exactly.
Which naturally leads us to the food itself. Because a visual appeal and an audio crunch might get a video to go viral, but the actual flavor is what sustains a trend and gets, like, National Geographic involved.
100%.
Jerome outlines 3 key culinary staples in his article, and they're often served together, that are driving this mass conversion. So let's start with the anchor of the plate, griot.
Oh, yes. For anyone unfamiliar, griot is essentially chunks of pork shoulder that are marinated, boiled, and then heavily fried.
Sounds amazing.
It is, but reducing it to just fried pork is a massive understatement of the culinary technique involved here.
Yeah, Jerome writes that if you grew up in Miami in neighborhoods like Little Haiti or Homestead, the smell of griot frying on a Saturday morning is practically a love language.
It really is.
So walk me through the mechanics here. Like, why is this specific preparation of pork shoulder, converting people on the very first bite.
Well, it comes down to the science of the marinade and the textural contrast. See, pork shoulder is inherently a tough, highly active muscle.
Right, it has a lot of fat and connective tissue.
Exactly. So in traditional Haitian cooking, it is washed with sour orange or lime and then marinated in this foundational flavor base called épice. Yeah. Épice is a vibrant herbaceous blend of peppers, garlic, scallions, parsley, and thyme, all blended together.
So it's not just like a dry rub sprinkled on top. It's sitting in this highly acidic aromatic bath.
Yes. The acid in the citrus begins to break down and tenderize the tough muscle fibers before heat is even applied.
Oh, wow.
And the aromatics penetrate deeply into the meat. Then, it's typically simmered until tender, which renders out some of the excess fat before it is finally fried at a very high heat.
Okay, so that's where the crunch comes in.
Exactly. It creates a textural masterpiece. You get an intensely crispy, caramelized, savory exterior, but because of the épice marinade and the simmering, the inside remains impossibly tender and rich. It hits literally every savory craving simultaneously.
But you don't eat griot by itself, right? It's a heavy, rich dish.
Ah!
Which brings us to the second staple on the plate, and this is the one Data Central flagged as the breakout star of 2026.
Pikliz.
Pikliz, yes. Here's where it gets really interesting, because I'm looking at the ingredients Jerome lists here. It's shredded cabbage, carrots, bell peppers, and Scotch bonnet peppers, all pickled in vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
The article calls it Haiti's answer to kimchi. But my question is, why is a cabbage slaw the specific item that data scientists are projecting to be everywhere? Like, why is the condiment the breakout star instead of the pork?
Because it acts as the palate's engineering component.
Yeah.
It is the mechanism that makes the entire meal functional.
Functional.
Think about the sensory experience of eating griot. It is incredibly rich, fatty, and savory. If you just eat a plate of fried pork, you will experience palate fatigue very quickly.
Oh, because the fat just kind of takes over.
Exactly. It coats your tongue, and the flavors become dull after just a few bites.
Right, you just hit a wall.
Exactly. Pikliz provides the essential aggressive counterpunch. The sharp acidity of the vinegar physically cuts through the lipid layer on your tongue, cleansing your palate. Then you have the Scotch bonnet peppers.
Wait, I want to pause on the Scotch bonnets, actually, because I see them mentioned constantly in Caribbean cuisine, but I don't fully understand their profile compared to, say, a jalapeno or a habanero.
Oh, a Scotch bonnet is a fascinating pepper. On the Scoville scale, which measures heat, it usually sits between 100,000 and 350,000 units.
Okay, and a jalapeno is what?
Usually around 5,000 units.
Oh my God.
So the Scotch bonnet is significantly hotter, but the heat isn't its only defining characteristic. Unlike peppers that just deliver a sharp burning sensation, Scotch bonnets have a distinct underlying fruity, almost tropical sweetness to them.
Really?
Yeah, they bring a floral complexity.
So it's not just punishing heat, it has an actual flavor profile.
Correct. When you combine the sharp palate-cleansing vinegar with the bright, fruity heat of the Scotch bonnet and the crunch of the raw cabbage and carrots, you create a condiment that resets your mouth completely.
That makes so much sense.
You take a bite of the rich pork, then a bite of the bright, spicy pikliz, and your taste receptors are woken back up. It makes you want to go back for another bite of the pork.
Oh, so it's a loop.
Yes. That functional addictive cycle is exactly why food data analysts are flagging it. It has the potential to be adopted across the broader restaurant industry as a premium topping for, like, burgers, tacos, or fried chicken sandwiches.
Oh, totally.
Because it solves the universal culinary problem of palate fatigue.
That is brilliant. Okay, so the pork brings the richness, the pikliz brings the necessary reset, and then we have the foundation that all of this rests upon. The third staple Jerome highlights, diri janjan, or black mushroom rice.
This is where the cuisine really showcases its unique environmental roots, or its terroir.
Hold on, terroir. I usually only hear that word used by, like, sommeliers talking about fancy wine.
Yeah.
How does terroir apply to a rice and mushroom dish?
Well, terroir simply refers to how a particular region's climate, soils, and terrain affect the taste of a food or agricultural product. In the case of diri janjan, the defining ingredient is a specific type of edible black mushroom, commonly called the janjan mushroom, that is native to the northern regions of Haiti.
Oh, native to Haiti.
Yes.
Yeah.
You really don't find it growing wildly elsewhere.
So the literal environment of Haiti is baked into the dish.
Precisely. And the preparation is heavily reliant on culinary science. These mushrooms are dried after harvesting.
Okay.
When you dehydrate mushrooms, you concentrate their glutamates.
Glutamates, that's umami, right?
Exactly. Glutamates are the amino acids responsible for umami, that deep, savory, earthy flavor profile that makes foods taste meaty and satisfying.
Right.
So when it's time to cook the rice, the dried mushrooms are boiled in water. They release
Okay,
all
so
of
let's
those
get right into
concentrated
it.
glutamates
If you've been
along with
anywhere
an
near
incredibly
social media
dark,
lately,
almost
you might have
ink-like
noticed
pigment,
something,
creating this
something
rich,
delicious
potent
happening.
stock.
We are
And
talking
then the
about
rice cooks
Haitian
in
food.
that.
The rice
It's
is cooked in
vibrant,
that
it's
dark
packed with
mushroom
flavor,
stock
and
instead of
according to
plain
all the
water.
trend
The visual
watchers, it is
description in
about
the
to
article
be
is striking,
everywhere.
like the rice
So
turns
in
a
this explainer,
dramatic
we're going to
deep
break down
black
what's
color.
happening,
It
what
does.
dishes
It
you
becomes the
absolutely need to
undisputed
know,
visual
and why this moment
centerpiece
is
of a
about so
celebratory
much more than just food.
If we connect this
You
to
know,
the bigger
this is the
picture, the
question
way it's
a lot of
presented
folks
in
in
these
the
viral
Haitian American
videos,
community are
you
asking.
can see why it
And it's
works
a
so
fantastic
flawlessly.
question,
Oh, the
right?
colors.
Because this
Yes.
food isn't new.
You have
Not
the
at all.
golden,
It's just
caramelized
now getting the
crunch of the
huge,
griot.
widespread
You
attention
have the
that,
deep,
honestly, it
dark,
has always
earthy
deserved.
base of the
So what's
umami-rich
really behind the
Diri
sudden
John
explosion in
and
popularity?
piled right on
Well,
top,
the
you have
evidence
the
is coming
vibrant,
from all
bright
sides. I mean, this
orange and
isn't
red
just a
colors
hunch.
of the acidic,
You've got major
spicy
players like
Pikliz.
National
Wow.
Geographic calling it out as
High
a
visual
top
contrast
trend.
for the
You have
algorithm
food industry
and
analysts,
perfectly
the
engineered
real data
flavor
nerds
balance
at
for the
Data
palate.
Central, pointing
The
to specific
earthy, the
things like
rich, and the
Pikliz as a
acidic.
breakout
No
flavor.
wonder those reaction
And then
videos look
at the
the way
ground
they do.
level, you
It
have
is
these
a
incredible
masterclass in
first taste
culinary
videos on
architecture.
TikTok just
And
going
because
absolutely
that
viral.
architecture is so
We're
solid,
talking
the demand
millions
is
of
moving
views of
rapidly
people's
from the
pure
internet
joy
into the physical
discovering
world.
this food for the
And
first
this is where
time.
Jerome's
It's a
article kind of shifts
full-blown
focus,
cultural wave.
tracking how this
But
demand
to
is
really get what's
rewriting
happening
the
here,
American
we
culinary
have to
map.
look
Right, the
past the
expansion.
plate.
Yeah, he points out that
Seriously.
Miami has
This
historically
isn't just
been
about
the
a
epicenter
cool,
of
exciting new
Haitian
flavor
food in the
becoming
United
popular.
States.
For the
We're talking
Haitian
about
community,
communities in Little
this
Haiti,
moment,
North
it's
Miami, and
deeply,
Homestead,
deeply
where these
significant.
flavors have been, a
And this
neighborhood
quote right
staple
here,
for
this is the core
decades.
of it.
Right.
This gets to
But
the
the geographical
absolute
spread
heart of the
happening heading
matter.
into 2026
Every time someone tries griot
is
for
what's
the first
truly
time
notable here.
or asks
Yeah,
for a
we
little
are
more
seeing a
Pikliz, it's
significant
seen as this act of
transition
recognition.
from a
It's an
hyper-regional
acknowledgement of a
specialty
culture that has
to a
contributed so
true
much,
national
often without getting
craving.
any of
Exactly.
the credit.
The article
This is
highlights
about
that
respect.
a concept called Gourmet
All right,
Kreyol
so
is opening
let's
a
get to
major
the food
location in
itself.
Boston in 2025.
Because if you're going to dive
and another
into Haitian
spot,
cuisine,
Griot Gardens,
these are the
recently
three
launched in Houston.
foundational dishes
That
you
feels
are
like a very
almost
deliberate
guaranteed to run
expansion.
into. And
Why
let's be
these
real,
specific
fall in love
cities?
with.
What is it
Think
about
of this
Boston
as
and
your
Houston
essential
that makes
starter
them
pack.
fertile ground for
First
this
up,
trend?
griot.
Well, it comes down to a
The source
combination
material
of
calls
shifting
this the dish
demographics
that
and
converts
increasingly
people, and
sophisticated
oh
local
man,
food
for
scenes.
good
Okay.
reason.
Houston, for
It is
instance, is
all
routinely
about the
ranked as one of
texture.
the most diverse
You
cities
take
in the
cubes of
United
pork,
States,
marinate
with a
them in
massive,
citrus
highly
and
adventurous
spices
dining
until they're
public
just
that aggressively
unbelievably
seeks out
flavorful,
authentic,
and then you
bold
fry them.
flavors.
That makes
What
sense.
you get is
If
this
you can succeed in
perfect
Houston's
contrast.
restaurant
This
market,
super
you have a
crispy,
concept
crunchy
with
outside that
serious
gives way
legs.
to
And
the
what about
most
Boston?
tender,
Boston,
succulent pork on the
similarly,
inside.
has a
It is an absolute
significant
game
and
changer.
growing Caribbean
Next, we have
diaspora,
Diri John,
combined with a culinary
and this dish
landscape
just
that is
perfectly
actively
shows off
moving
how
away from
unique Haitian
traditional
ingredients
fine
are.
dining
It gets that
toward
signature black
high-quality,
color and this
heritage-driven
incredibly deep,
concepts.
earthy
Oh,
flavor
interesting.
from a special
So
kind of
seeing
mushroom
major
that you
Haitian
can
restaurant
only find in
investments
Haiti.
in these specific
And it's not just a
cities
side dish, no way.
tells us that
This is
developers
often
and
the
chefs
centerpiece of a big
recognize the broader
celebratory meal.
mainstream
It's
viability
dramatic
of
to
the
look at,
cuisine.
and it has a taste
It's
you
scaling
literally
up.
won't
Stepping
find
out of the
anywhere
neighborhood
else.
and onto the main
And
stage.
finally,
Exactly.
But here's the part of
Pikliz.
Jerome's article
Hey,
that really
remember
made me
this name
stop
from the
and
Trends
rethink
Report?
everything.
Oh, yeah.
This is that
We've been
breakout
talking
flavor
about
that we're
this
talking
expansion
about.
as if
It's this
Haitian
spicy
food is
pickled
traveling to new
slaw,
places
usually
for the
with
first time.
cabbage,
But
carrots,
Jerome
and some
brings up
fiery
New
Scotch bonnet
Orleans.
peppers.
Ah,
It's
yes.
served with
He
pretty
mentions
much
that New
everything,
Orleans recently
especially
hosted a
griot, because that
four-day
tangy
Haitian
heat
food
just
crawl.
cuts right through the
But it
richness.
wasn't an event
It's
designed
bright,
to
it's got a
introduce
real
the city
kick,
to a
and trust me,
quote-unquote new
it is ridiculously
trend.
addictive.
So what does this all
So,
mean?
how did this
The
food,
explicit
with
purpose
such
of the
deep,
event
rich
was to
roots,
acknowledge how
finally
deeply
start to hit the
Haitian culture
mainstream?
has
Well,
already
the
influenced
story
the
of its
food,
journey
drinks,
in
and
America
traditions
is
of New
actually
Orleans.
key
This
to
raises an
understanding what's
important
happening right
question.
now.
And it's where the
that
distinction
story
between
really starts in one
discovery and
specific
legacy
city.
becomes
And
incredibly
that city
important.
is
Right.
Miami.
If New Orleans,
For decades,
which is
neighborhoods like Little
arguably
Haiti
the
and
crown
Homestead have been
jewel of
the
American
absolute
regional
heartland of
cuisine,
Haitian food
is
and
throwing
culture
a
in the U.S.
festival to acknowledge
And this
that
quote,
much of its
wow, it
own
just
food actually
captures it
comes from
perfectly.
Haiti.
Food
Then
there
this
isn't
isn't
just
a
about
story
eating.
about a
It's community,
2026
it's
restaurant
family,
expansion.
No,
it's a
not
shared
at all.
language of
This
love
is
and
about
identity.
uncovering a
And
massive
from that heartland
hidden
in Miami,
root system.
it's been
And to
spreading out.
understand that root
You can
system,
see
we
the
have to
journey
look
right here.
briefly at the
You've got new
historical
spots
timeline.
like
Okay,
Gourmet
take me back.
Kreyol pushing
We
into
often
northern
fall into the
markets like
trap of
Boston.
thinking
You
about
see Griot
immigrant
Gardens
foodways
popping up in
as
Houston.
modern
And then
imports.
in a place like
a
New
new
Orleans, which
community
has these
arrives in the
deep
20th or
historical ties
21st
to Haiti,
century,
you're
opens a
seeing
restaurant,
awesome events
and
like a
introduces a
citywide
new
Haitian
flavor
Food
to the
Crawl,
block.
really
Yeah, that's the
celebrating
usual
those
narrative.
connections.
But the connection
It's
between
happening
Haiti
everywhere.
and New Orleans
Okay,
goes
so with
back
this
over
kind of
2
momentum building
centuries.
all across the
Wow.
country.
Following the
You have to
Haitian
wonder,
Revolution,
what's
which
next?
concluded in
Is this just
1804,
a
there was
national trend
massive
here in the States,
migration.
or are we
By
actually watching the
1809,
birth of the
thousands of
next
free
major
people of
global
color,
cuisine?
enslaved individuals,
So,
and
check
European
this
colonists
out.
from
This is
Saint-Domingue,
such a
which is now
fascinating
Haiti.
Right.
parallel.
They
The
arrived in
sources
New Orleans
suggest we should
largely
think about
via Cuba.
Pikliz kind of
That
like
must
how
have
we
had a
think about kimchi
staggering
now.
impact on the city.
I mean, just a
like,
decade or two
culturally.
ago,
It
kimchi was
literally
still a
doubled
pretty
the
niche flavor
population of
outside
New
of
Orleans
Korea.
in a very
Today,
short span of time.
it's a global
doubled.
staple you can find in
Doubled.
almost any
You
supermarket.
cannot double a
Pikliz
city's
has that
population
exact
with
same
a specific
potential.
cultural
It's
group
unique,
and not
it's
permanently
addictive,
alter
it's
its DNA.
versatile, and
of
it could
course not.
totally become a
The
household
culinary
name all over the
techniques,
world.
the specific
And that
approaches
really
to
brings us
slow
to our
cooking
final
beans and
thought
rice,
here.
the
We started
heavy
off talking
reliance
about
on
how the smell of
complex
griot
aromatic
frying
flavor
is a kind of
bases
love
similar
language
to the
inside the
epics we
Haitian
discussed
community.
earlier.
Oh, like
But
the Holy
as this
Trinity in
food finds a
Cajun
bigger
cooking.
and bigger
Exactly.
stage,
Those
as more
elements were
people try
woven
it and fall
directly
in
into
love
the
with it,
fabric
the
of
question
what we
isn't
now
about the quality
consider
of the food
traditional
anymore. That's
Louisiana
been proven
Creole
for
cuisine.
That
generations.
is mind-blowing.
The real question
The foundation
is
of
the
dishes
rest of
like
the world
jambalaya
finally
and the
ready to
specific
listen?
uses of peppers and spices have direct,
Haitian food is a major trend. Our
undeniable
culture is going
lineage to
mainstream.
that
Creators,
exact
make content
Haitian
about your
migration.
culture. Check the tax
So,
guides and drop a
literally
Haitian flag
millions of
emoji in the
tourists
comments.
visit New Orleans every year, eat the incredible local food, and essentially they are consuming the historical influence of Haiti without ever even knowing it.
Exactly. The influence has been heavily baked into the American culinary landscape for over 200 years. It just hasn't received the marquee billing.
That really reframes how you look at regional American food. It means that what we are seeing today, the National Geographic accolades, the Data Central reports on Pikliz, the massive restaurant openings in Houston and Boston, it isn't the arrival of a new trend.
Yeah.
It is simply the original architect finally getting their name on the building.
That is a perfect way to phrase it. The culture is utilizing the high-speed virality of modern platforms to secure long overdue historical credit.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So to summarize the journey we've taken today for you listening at home, we started with the algorithm. We looked at how the intense visual contrast and ASMR-ready crunch of Haitian cuisine made it an unstoppable force on modern social media feeds.
And from there, we deconstructed the actual mechanics of the plate.
Right.
We explored the acid-driven tenderization of griot, the crucial palate-cleansing engineering of the spicy vinegar-based pikliz, and the umami-rich terroir of diri john made with native black mushrooms. We saw how those three elements create a flawless sensory balance.
And finally, we tracked how that perfect culinary architecture is expanding outward. From the historical, deeply loved strongholds of Miami, up into the highly competitive markets of Boston and Houston, and all the way deep into the foundational historical roots of New Orleans.
It really is a story of a viral moment, but more importantly, it is the story of a lasting legacy.
Well said.
And as we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over.
Okay.
Think about the iconic, quintessential dishes of your own city or your own region. The meals you proudly consider, quote-unquote, local.
Yeah.
If a culinary powerhouse, like New Orleans, owes so much of its fundamental flavor DNA to an unrecognized Haitian influence, what other local American flavors are actually the hidden legacy of immigrant communities? Look closely at your favorite hometown dish. Whose family history are you actually eating, and whose recipes are we going to discover next?
That is something to think about next time you sit down at your favorite neighborhood spot. Keep questioning the world and the history of the food around you. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive, and we will catch you next time.